Why do Eastern Europeans drink so much? The former Soviet countries are one of the best drinkers in the world. That is not a compliment. Being a drunk all day is not aesthetic or cool. Even Russian novels show how people spend the last of their income on alcohol even when they're dirt poor or in debt. You already probably think that one of the main reasons for alcoholism in these places is that life is just fucking sucked in Tsarist Russia and in the USSR. Did you know that the Soviets actually encouraged alcoholism in their people? So not only did all your friends die in a war and everything sucked, but the government was also encouraging you to drink more because alcohol revenues were a major part of both Tsarist Russia and the Soviet Union, to the point where in the mid-19th century alcohol made up around 40% of Russia's income and around 1/3 of the revenue in the USSR. So while the average salary was about 150 to 200 rubles, a bottle of alcohol was hiked up to 10 rubles, and for Soviets a bottle of vodka was nothing. For an addicted person, that would last an evening or maximum 2 days, which is where all these stories come from, where the dad is a drunk idiot and instead of helping his family out to eat, he just goes out and drinks. This high price of alcohol created the most Russian phenomenon ever, called the 3-person deal, where 3 random strangers all chipped in to buy 1 bottle of vodka and drank it right away in some park, square, or a hall of a building nearby. How did the Soviets encourage drinking? The Book of Tasty and Healthy Food was a book released by the Institute of Nutrition of the Academy of Medical Scientists of the USSR in 1939. Brother, all of your population is fucking addicted to alcohol. The one chance you get to releasing a cookbook of what these people should consume in their bodies, you got directed propaganda of a food pyramid and a cookbook that all of the USSR will actually see. Guess what they put inside, bro? Oh yeah, our population is full of alcoholics. Guys, here is how you make a good dinner table. So first, you get some Georgian wine, some chocolate, maybe a little champagne, couldn't hurt, more Georgian wine, and you know what? Another bottle of Georgian wine could not hurt either. And how about we switch it up a bit and get 2 more bottles of Armenian wine? So there are currently 6 confirmed alcohol bottles on this table. There are 2 full-size plates on this fucking table and at least 6 bottles of alcohol. And you guys have to understand, I'm being very generous here, because most likely these 2 bottles are also alcohol too, and this black jug over here is 1,000% filled with alcohol. So it's most likely 7 bottles of alcohol with 2 full-size plates. This is like if the US Department of Health and Human Services dropped a picture of what a dinner table should look like, and it included 3 Hershey bars, fruit, McFlurries, 4 bottles of Jack Daniels, and 5 bottles of Hennessy. How about some breakfast? Well, for breakfast you should get something to start the day off with. So how about some sausages, a pickle, peas, 2 bottles of beer? The first time I saw this, I was like, there is no way these people are recommending 2 bottles of beer to their population. But nope, both of those bottles are beer. And this one is just going all in. A chocolate bar, some fruits, and to wash it all down, a bottle of Georgian wine, a bottle of champagne, Armenian wine, and another wine. USSR Ministry of Health, by the way. And about life sucking, and that's why they were drinking. I mean, day to day, it wasn't America, but just all the wars, World War I and World War II, and the USSR having the most deaths out of any other country was a big part of that reason too. The situation was especially bad in the heavy industry regions and rural areas, because heavy industry workers especially hated their lives, to the point where in the mid-19th century alcohol made up around 40% of Russia's income and 1/3 of the revenue in the USSR. At that point, they couldn't refuse the money and just ban alcohol. First of all, banning alcohol would not stop addicts. You know why? Because they did limit alcohol. They tried doing anti-alcohol campaigns and stuff, but the cost was too high. So the last ruler of the USSR just banned alcohol, limiting a person's alcohol use, and so they could only buy 1 or 2 liters or 34 to 68 ounces of alcohol per month. 2 liters of booze is nothing for an addicted person. That shit maybe lasts a day or 2. So the people would drink anything that included alcohol, such as cheap perfumes and just anything. Of course, instead of this decreasing alcoholism, the whole legal alcohol market just became a part of the black black market, and they lost around 100 billion rubles in revenue. This law was only in power for 2 years, and it cost them roughly $29 billion. And then of course, thousands of them died, so they just scratched the idea. But like your whole state encouraging people to, come on bro, drink more, and become an alcoholic brain dead whose only mission is to drink more and can't function, would surely benefit them in the long run. They were choosing short-term money gain for long-term people destined for depression, trauma, and domestic violence. More on that one coming in a bit. I was doing research for this video and saw an article that said Soviet propaganda encouraged alcohol consumption and that drunkard men were portrayed as liberated and attractive. I don't know about that one, but much in the same way as Bakhmut is liberated now. Guys, 9 million Russians are dead, but we took the Ukrainian town of Kokets, population 4 goats. Amazing Russian victory. I'm sure losing all these people will of course help Russia, even though its population has been rapidly declining like nothing else. Alcohol, hardcore drugs, and the highest self-gaming rate in the world besides African countries. And making domestic legal in a country and the declining population was surely a good move. Look, you can your wife all you want, unless they get broken bones or they aren't alive anymore. Oh wow, amazing. I might learn Russian and move to Russia actually. This also gives you more of an idea on what these people who think Russia is a place to escape woke culture actually want. A lot of times these people just use the excuse of Russia is religious and the West is not. It's literally such a fucking cope if these people actually want to be in religious countries. These are the only actual religious places in Europe and North America. But these Neanderthals who refuse to evolve with the human race get all their information from dick cock and live like absolute slaves, keep believing in their Russian-funded TikTok propaganda feed. I'm funded by my audience and my memories of war. We are not the same. Here's the thing though, they'll go to an actual religious place. Soon as they show their stupid pro-Russian beliefs in Georgia, they'll get their ass handed to them on a platter. If you say anything pro-Russian, I can guarantee that like 20 Georgian dudes will teleport to your location and rip your asshole out of your body, including me. You know, Russia is actually They'll go to Armenia and think, why are the religious girls here not having sex with me? And in the US, they are literally socially not accepted because contrary to popular belief, most Americans are not as dumb as people think they are. Europeans like to say Americans are racist, but let me be clear. Europeans make Americans look like the least judgmental people in the world. Most of French cinema is telling people why non-French and non-white people should be considered human, and the French are still racist. Europeans like to think they're better than Americans. The most liberal European will spot a Roma and instantly turn into the dude from Inglourious Bastards. And oh brother, don't even get me started about Finland. But I actually couldn't find any evidence for drunkard men are being portrayed as liberated and attractive. Maybe in the culture or before Stalin died, but after Stalin died and I gained the ability to store wine inside a figurine of him without getting shot by a firing squad, they started doing a lot of anti-alcohol propaganda because for the past 200 years they've just been profiting off it. And they probably thought, guys, okay, we've made enough money and ruined our people's lives enough. Let's cut the alcoholism a bit, but if only ending an addiction was that easy. These people were doing 3-way vodka chip-in deals with random strangers. You think a picture of a dude refusing alcohol was gonna stop them? No, bro. And you guys might think I'm only talking about Russia here, but the USSR just spread this alcoholism to all of the countries they were occupying and made it normalized. I can name any one of these countries. The countries least affected were actually the Caucasus countries with this alcoholism. Like, yeah, it definitely increased, but it's died down lately here in the mountains. You know where it hasn't died down? Everywhere else, bro. Which brings me to our GOAT, our #1 alcohol drinkers in Europe. The one and only, the best country in the world. Few countries who refers to Georgia by its actual name, and we return the favor by calling them by their real name. Lietuva, aka Lithuania. Lithuania is by far the #1 drinker in the European Union. I can only explain this by saying that ruling over Slavs for 800 years was very stressful.
Look, I get it, dude, I get it. It's terribly fucking shameful for you to have no fucking history except fucking tending the fields of big Baltic balls, but you gotta accept that, dude. If you're gonna avoid who you are really, you're gonna be lying to yourself, dude. Lithuania ruled the Slavs. You don't like that? That's too fucking bad, but it's true. For fucking hundreds of fucking years, 800 fucking years, Lithuania has been fucking dabbing on you cocksucking motherfuckers. Look, I get it, dude. All of your history is basically just tending the fucking potato fields for the big fucking Baltic Bull. But look, it's not that bad. I mean, we treated you pretty good, right? We gave you fucking rights, we let you speak your language, we let your people, participate in the governing process. It's beautiful, we were such benevolent rulers. You don't have to be so fucking mad. You don't have to be upset, just accept it.
So they started drinking, and then it just went on for generations to what we have today. I wanna say, I don't know what's going on up there, but the situation is very bad. On any alcohol statistic, Lithuania and Russia come up the highest in Europe, and the worst thing is, Lithuania is actually a developed country, but it still has the highest self-game end rate in the European Union, which just goes to show you how dangerous a populace being addicted to alcohol is. It causes nothing more than bullshit, being poor, depression, and in a lot of cases domestic. Good thing is, at least domestic is illegal in Lithuania, unlike Russia, so people can actually get punished for it. Lithuania is the richest country in the Baltics, with nearly double the GDP of Estonia, so it's baffling to see these statistics coming out from them. To compare to other post-Soviet countries, Lithuania is nearly 5 times richer than Armenia and is in the European Union, but their rate is 6 times larger than Armenia. This all goes to show you how much even developed countries can get ruined by alcoholism like this. It's also horrible because it also contributes to domestic violence, and showing your kids domestic violence is not healthy at all. So the kids might grow up traumatized and start drinking too, going through the cycle of trauma all over again. Another reason for the whole region being alcoholics is why everyone thinks they're alcoholics. Just a lot of BS going on. Social, economic, and political turmoil, wars in the past decades, and quality of life is a broad concept that includes things such as health, education, income, safety, freedom, and happiness. And according to the World Health Organization, an individual's perception of their position in life in the context of the culture and value systems in which they live and in relation to their goals, expectations, standards, and concerns. Quality of life can be measured by different indicators such as life expectancy, literacy rate, poverty rate, human development index, happiness index, and others. And yet these places don't have a very good rating. Eastern Europe is a region that has faced many challenges, if you include the fact that most of the people that died in World War II were Eastern Europeans. For example, you know what percentage of the population died during World War II in Germany? Fighting on the side that lost, 8.23% of their population. Just 8%. Now, you go east and boom, 25% of Belarus's population died, 16% of Ukraine, 17% of Poland. Like, what the fuck am I looking at here? And if the cope only stopped there, in the early 90s, when the alcoholic European Union collapsed, many countries in this region went through a difficult transition from a centrally planned economy to a market economy. The USSR collapsing is exactly why we have oligarchs today who have more money than they know what to do with, because they control a percentage of a company which supplies all of Europe with gas. These huge industries providing services for 200 million people got in the hands of a few. The rest were left fucked, resulting in economic instability, aka fuck you, your money's mine now. Unemployment, inflation, corruption, and social inequality. Even to this day, a handful of Russian oligarchs control 85% of the country's wealth. Moreover, some countries experienced ethnic conflicts. Oh, I wonder which countries. Oh, what? Me? Mine? Georgians? They were trying to game end the people of my ethnicity? And Bosnians too? Wow. Yeah, they were. Ask your Serbian grandpa or dad what he did in the 90s. The answer might surprise you. Civil wars, political violence, and an infinite amount of human rights violations. Just literally as much as you want. These factors have negatively affected the quality of life of many people in Eastern Europe who have suffered from poor health, low education, low income, insecurity, which means, oh, I wonder when a bomb is gonna drop on me. Guys, it's okay, I can make fun of it. Bombs have been dropped on me too. One of the ways that some people cope with the stress and hardship of their lives is by consuming alcohol. Alcohol provides temporary cope and relief from the negative emotions caused by having a Georgian leader for a few years. It gets rid of anxiety, depression, anger, and boredom temporarily. But it is a slippery slope from having a traumatic event to just being a full-on alcoholic, and Eastern Europors have had a lot of traumatic events in a short amount of time. However, alcohol also provides you with liver damage, cardiovascular disease, cancer, addiction, cognitive impairment, and psychological disorders. Furthermore, it will destroy your social functioning, such as family relationships, work performance, communication, basically remove your hope of being a functioning member of society. In conclusion, the state promoting alcohol like it's water because half their GDP was made up of just selling vodka, and also just pure depression that comes with RNG fucking up and making you born east of Germany, will do that to you, man. Of course, alcoholism has various causes, but I tried my best to narrow it down to its most significant causes in this video. I also think that improving the quality of life of people in Eastern Europe could be an effective way to prevent and reduce alcoholism in the region. This could be achieved by implementing policies and programs that address the economic, social, and political issues that affect this region, such as promoting economic growth, stability, reducing poverty, and the oligarchy inequality, making better education and healthcare systems. These are all boring policies that all countries have to go through, instead of the Saudi Arabian way of let's just build a big thing that will fix our country. This will fix all of our problems. So I'll just say what my dad thinks about fixing every problem in Eastern Europe. Of course, his solution is as simple as deleting Russia off the map. I have a surprise for you if you made it to the end of this video. First of all, I thank you for watching until the end. Now I'm going to sing the Ukrainian anthem as the outro plays. Like and subscribe. For all my south side that know me best, I feel like me and Taylor might still have sex. What? I made that bitch famous. Goddamn, I made that bitch famous. Talk that talk, man. For all the girls that I dig from Kanye West. If see him in the streets, give him Kanye's best. What? They made they ain't famous. Goddamn. They made they still nameless. Talk that talk, man. Her man in the store trying to try his best, but he just can't seem to get Kanye fresh. But we still hood famous. God damn, yeah, we still hood famous. I just wanted you to know I loved you better than your own kin did from the very start. I don't blame you much for wanting to be free. Wake up, Mr. West, oh he's up. I just wanted you to know I be Puerto Rican, they parade floating. The band's Marina Del Rey coasting. She in school to be a real estate agent. Let's Martha help her with the car payment.